We wanted to tell you our story.
There's just one thing.
You're gonna find it hard to believe.
We have explored every medical option. You couldn't have tried harder.
Tonight, let's have a kid.
You heard what the doctor said. Give it up.
Our kid would never give up.
Picasso with the pencil. Honest to a fault.
Yes. Our kid would rock.
Now what? We're moving on.
All right, ladies, this is why you never, ever bury your unwanted child in a stranger's garden, all right? Because you get bullshit like this popping up out of the ground, and we got to go see it.
So I'm taking it right off the bat that you didn't like this movie.
I didn't care for it too much. No, I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, after I saw it, I was like, what was the point of all that? Would you agree? Or
I agreed to a point.
okay.
I got to admit that as much as I felt the same way you did, I mean, you end up feeling somewhere in the movie, I don't know if it was halfway through, maybe a little bit further, actually, I started to warm up to it.
Really?
In the beginning, not digging it at all.
Oh, no.
Now what
no.
you got here, you got Joel Edgerton, who I'm going to always think of as Bane's little brother.
Oh, yeah, Warrior. That's
Yeah,
right, yeah. That, and he was also in the remake of The Thing. He was,
right.
He was the guy pretending to be Kurt Russell in the movie. Yeah.
Right. I forget about that. So it's him, and he's married to Jennifer Garner, and they live in one of these tiny little Midwest towns that's just known for making pencils. That's what they're proud of. This is the home of the pencil. We make pencils here.
Oh, yeah, and immediately watching that, I got completely depressed.
And it is depressing because this is thing out now. I forgot what it's called. Oh, Email.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow. I almost forgot about that.
There's
so did
Email.
this town.
Yeah, this town is this tiny little town that's that its entire economy is built on a pencil factory,
Which is scary as hell to think about.
It is.
It's like if one pencil gets jammed in that damn machine of theirs, they're all screwed.
Or
yeah.
if a school shuts down.
Oh, forget is it Armageddon?
Layoffs.
Yeah. People are going to be on the streets eating each other. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be scary as hell.
So you have this fictional little town that's all based around a factory that makes pencils of all things. But you have this couple, this attractive youngish couple who all they want is a baby. They just want to have a baby.
Because who doesn't want a baby these days? Come on.
Well, I mean, for celebrities, it's the new accessory.
Yeah, and of course, they're white, so what's a white couple without a baby? I mean, it just doesn't seem Americana enough.
You're right,
especially in that fucking little pencil town. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
They are completely depressed because they're a white couple without a baby, and that's not supposed to happen. A white couple is supposed to be able to get anything they want.
Oh yeah, I mean, and if they can't get what they want, they're going to make sure as well hell that somebody's going to give them something. I mean, look at Angelina Jolie, look at Madonna.
Yes,
even though Madonna kind of screwed up. I don't know how that. She's the first white woman to screw up anything. I was like, wow, how do you screw up not getting a kid?
You adopted an African kid with no real family. Yeah, eating dirt. Yeah, and they still went like, no. Yeah, no. You must pay us.
even in Malawi, it's like, no. You are a material girl. And you are not the mother that seems fit to take care of this dead kid. Oh man.
But they're just so depressed, and they're just like, hey, honey, you know what? Cheer up. Let's just, you know what? Instead of being depressed, let's think about the kid we would have. And she's like, are you fucking crazy? You can't see that I can't stop crying. No. Play this game with me. We're gonna write down all things that our dream kid would have, and we're just gonna write them and put them in a box and bury it in the yard.
And right after that, she goes to get a bat and she beats the fuck out of him for not listening the first time.
You know what? That would have been. It would have made sense like they did that. That's that last desperate act before they do a murder-suicide. They just turn the gas on and lay in the bed and fall asleep. But somehow, and the thing is, okay, when this happens, they bury this in the backyard. And I'm already thinking...
They bury the box with all the I guess the little scraps of paper describing the perfect kid that they would have had.
That they would have had. Even they even put faults in there for it. Just to be that much more realistic and kind of bury the fact that, like, hey, this is not going to happen for us. We're going to do this. We're going to move on. I don't know how you think you're gonna move on in a day.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? It's a fantasy movie.
That's right.
And
It's
to
fantasy.
prove that, the way they are able to move on is that it rains only in their yard. And it's a town that's got it ain't enough that it's built on the whole economy is built on a dying pencil factory. That's a drought too. They can't even get rain. And even when they get rain, the cops show up and they're like, motherfucker, we know you watered your yard. Give me your sprinkler. I've
Yeah.
come to confiscate the sprinkler.
That's what they do. They confiscate sprinklers. I was like, well, I've never heard of that. That's
Yeah,
like,
man,
Do
I-
they beat your ass right after you give it to them? It's like,
I mean-
you motherfucker, wasted all my water.
Yeah, I've heard of I've seen some tough homeowners associations, but that takes the cake.
I know. I was like, you might as well. Hey, I ask for the bullet. You know, you can't take away my sprinkler. That's
Till you
all
cry
I
for
got.
my cold dead fingers. But by doing this act, with the magic rain, something grows in the garden.
Oh
Something
boy.
grows,
And
it's a dirty little white kid.
Yeah, dirty little white boy crawling from the muck of hell.
Yeah.
For some reason, to finally be with this couple.
Yeah. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Hey, look, you got another mouth to feed. Oh boy, you know all those problems you were having. Well, you got one more. Yeah. And I guess that's where the movie begins. I mean, and it's basically this family dealing with this kid now, like actually having to raise a kid,
Yeah.
and trying to do the best they can,
Right.
despite all these obstacles, like trying to convince people that it's their kid,
Right.
Which I thought it was a point in the movie that they super glossed over. To where it seemed like everyone just accepted the fact, even the dad. I forgot who was playing the dad.
Oh, it's David Morse.
David Morse. Yeah, David Morse plays the father of
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, of Joe Egerton, Jim Green.
Yeah.
He plays his father, and apparently you get somewhat of a backstory that this guy wasn't the best father.
The thing is, we don't know because Joel Edgerton, he has such father issues. He's like, I've always wanted a kid because I need to be the father that my father never was to me. He was never showed up at my games, or he showed up and because I sucked, he would just leave and make me feel even worse. And I'm not going to be that. And I'm going to stand by him. And even as a point where even Jennifer Garner's like, would you calm the fuck down? It's not about you and your issues.
You don't understand. I wanted a value meal, and he wouldn't get one.
Right.
He wouldn't give me one. All I asked was for a Pepsi, and I couldn't get a Pepsi. All I asked for was one Pepsi, and he wouldn't give it to me. Institution.
Exactly.
I mean, and it could be even that, where he's complaining about his dad. It seemed like that was like really sugared down to where he didn't seem like an abusive dad at all.
No, he didn't. He seemed like he might have been a little emotionally closed.
Yeah,
but not
a
abusive.
terrible person.
Yeah.
Which when the camera goes to the guy, he's looking like the biggest ass. He looks like another asshole that crawled out of the ground.
Yeah,
the way he's like mean and stuff. But throughout the movie, I was like, wow, you know what? Even though he's there, he didn't have anything to do.
No,
besides
just show up and be a presence.
Show up and be in presence. Yeah, and I was like, wow, what a wasted opportunity to explore that whole aspect of the father-son relationship, which they never do.
Well, and the thing is, there's a lot of ways it could have gone and been a deeper movie. This is funny. This is reminding me of our discussion about Hope Springs, where we're coming out almost on the opposite sides of it, where it could have been a deeper movie, but I could see from the beginning that that's not the goal of this movie. This is a Disney movie, and it's supposed to be cute and heartwarming. And it had to keep coming back to the fact that it's basically a fairy tale. It's in the way that Edward Scissorhands, albeit much darker, but is that fairy tale where you have this, I want to say creature who comes into these people's lives who they try to treat like a human being, but ultimately it is different.
I mean, you're right. He is somewhat of a creature because the big thing about this kid, the one thing that makes him special is that he has fucking green leaves growing out of his ankles.
Yeah. And they can't be picked off or cut off.
No.
But at times they do fall off.
They do fall off.
There's something important about that.
That is the mystery
That's
of the movie.
Yeah, we're going to save something for
yes.
you.
in case you're dying to see this
thing.
Yeah.
Now, what you do need to know is that it does seem like almost every family member they have is kind of shitty because you get Rosemary DeWitt in here who, it seems like she's destined to always play the bitchy sister. And once again, that's what they got her in here doing.
Yeah, you're right. But I have to admit, every time I see that chick, I'm always waiting for her to get naked for some reason. She looks like the wild, crazy-ass sister that all of a sudden just going to take off all her clothes and say, fuck it, because that's every time I see her in a movie, she's like playing the same character.
Yeah.
Where she's like, yeah, I may seem like an asshole, but when I party, I fucking party. I mean, I get fucking wild. Yeah, I don't know if you can handle me. I was like,
Right.
she's telling Timothy Green, like, I'm a little motherfucker, I don't know if you can handle all this.
Right.
I'm a fucking wild-ass ant. You're going to get in trouble hanging out with me.
Right,
You know?
You little son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Because she's
Tree-
staring every
tree
scene.
fucker.
She does nothing but put her sister, her sister played by Jennifer Garner. She just puts her down casually, like it's almost like she's like. It's like,
which you
all
see
right.
that you see that storyline. You know where that's immediately going to go.
Yeah, I mean, and probably the biggest downfall of the movie is that you have characters like that are two-dimensional and cartoon characterish, and they just do exactly what you expect. Yeah. I mean, with some exceptions, like Diane Wiest, who plays like the female Mr. Burns, of the town.
She was the best part.
She was the best part.
She really was.
And you got, Joel Edgerton. He's working at a factory. You got to have a mean boss. Now, the classic mean boss is Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah.
But if you can't afford Kevin Spacey, you get a younger lookalike in the form of Ron Livingston.
Right. Which is a dude from Office Space,
Right.
which I was like, I still picture him as that guy. I'm like, man, you climb up that ladder and you become even a bigger asshole than the guy you were working for.
Right.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, Lumberg looks like a prince next to you.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, those two characters, they were interesting, but to a point where you knew that their storylines were that at some point it was going to change the town's thinking as far as what people do to be good people in this small town. But my biggest complaint though is Timothy Green, where I thought that kid was just completely two-dimensional, to where all he really did in the movie was like give reaction shots, to where he seemed like a clueless dog half the time, where he's just like, I'm not, because they're teaching him how to play soccer, how to get involved with sports, how to associate with kids.
What did you put in there? He's about
Just
to fall
anything
over.
he might need. Notebooks, pencils. Oh, there's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually, just in case. Variety of healthy snacks and treats, some graham crackers. I know you like them. And then flashlight and some batteries.
Mom, I think I can handle it from here.
Oh, there's an extra pair of socks.
And he is kind of just like standing there looking around, completely clueless throughout the entire movie.
He's kind of like an alien. Like
he really is.
It's how you imagine Superman would have been if he had fallen to Earth when he was 8 years old, and just kind of looking around, trying to learn, and just being like, "All right, Clark, just don't let everybody know you can fly."
Right.
Just.
But the motherfucker can't talk. He can't fly.
No.
He can't do none of that cool shit. He can't do none of it. But stand there and do his Jesus Christ pose. Right. Whenever the sun comes out.
He soaks up those solar rays like Superman.
I guess so.
I was expecting to fly away.
I know.
At some
We were
point.
both like, wait, okay, is this motherfucker going to do something? Is that red cape going to pop out of his ass and he's going to go flying, or what's going on? Is there some kind of Captain Planet moment that's going to happen here?
Well, there is something he does. It's not very spectacular, but it is, the film does pivot around it. One thing that was good is that there is a girl, an older girl, who at first she's like, it's like he sees this girl, it's almost like he's like instantly falls in love with her. Mm-hmm. And she's like a tough chick, but then they have this relationship, and it is very sweet, like watching them together. It's funny because when they were together, I thought, you know what? I wish there was some way this and Moonrise Kingdom could have met in the middle and gave me the movie that I wanted, that wasn't so creepy and weird for no reason,
right?
But just wasn't quite so sweet.
And I'm glad, because that was the next point I was going to bring up with you, and I'm glad that you actually told me what you're thinking, what you thought about that character in those scenes, because I thought something else that was a huge wasted opportunity was that relationship.
Yeah,
because the thing is, you see them lock eyes. I mean, and you realize, okay, there's going to be some kind of relationship that's going to form here. But as soon as they get together, it's almost like a quick montage of them just hanging out and like you see a montage of them just kind of like frolicking in the woods. He's chasing her while she's riding her bike, but you get no kind of backstory with that girl who's actually the girl. I was like, wow, she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous kid, and this is a girl. It's like another Natalie Portman,
right?
You know, that I'm sure. If she can act, she's going to go places. You know, she has a look to her that's just captivating. But it was depressing to realize how much like they didn't do anything with her character.
It's one of those things where at the point when they seem like almost like not quite enemies, but just like when they weren't together, that was interesting watching it build. And then once they were together, it was like, oh, well, y'all just gonna frolic around.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's all the movie had planned for them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this should have been a relationship that explored who this kid was, why he was special, what his purpose was there for this couple, you know. And I honestly wanted more of that. I wanted more of a meaningful relationship than kind of just the stuff they just kind of, you know, scratched on and never really gave you a door to see like where all this was kind of leading to, you know.
It's not a deep movie. It's
not
very,
at all.
It's very shallow. It's a nice little fairy tale. It's one of these kind of movies where, you know, there was a time when you saw Disney's name on something and you went like, oh great, this is something for the kids. And then they start stepping up their game. This is more of a throwback to those movies where you go like, okay, it's a Disney movie. So the thing is, the thing about the movie is like it's not trying. It doesn't have lofty goals. It's not going for anything big. It's trying to make a big statement, but in a small way. It's not even. I take that back. Not even a big statement. I mean, it does. It gets to where it wants to go, and where it ended up, as much as it annoyed me or left me flat at times. Where it ended up, I was like, you know what? Despite myself, I'm feeling a little touched by where it's ending. I was like,
wow, okay.
I'm if Cole's been sitting here. I might drop a tear. Who knows?
Pussy!
No, but I didn't. I held it together.
Oh, I was watching you.
I held it together.
I had my eye on you, buddy.
But it's one of those movies where you go like, man, if somebody's already wanted to see it, I'd be like, hey, go for it, I guess.
Good luck.
But if anybody's saying like, oh, hey, was that good? Should I see it? I'm like, don't ask me.
Yeah, don't ask me, but you're a reviewer. I need to ask somebody. Who am I going to talk to? That asshole over there?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I mean, it's one of those movies where it's everything that I got from that trailer.
Yeah.
Which is just a lot of moments of like just people staring at the camera, looking like they're about to cry. Everything. It seemed like a sympathetic, trap as far as a movie like this, to where it lures you in, just knowing, oh, there's something really deep here, because you could see by the trailer, there's a kid involved, there's a family that really wants a kid. This town is getting used to the idea of this really special kid. You got Common there going, you got a real special boy there, and I'm like, what makes him so fucking special? But besides, he has like a goddamn skin problem with leaves popping out of his ass. I mean, really, what? Give me more. And I wanted the movie to give me more.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, it was shot well. I mean,
yeah.
I can give it that. But even though it's shot well, oh man, and this was tough. I was on the verge of giving it a rental.
Yeah.
But thinking back on it more, it's like it didn't do anything for me.
Sure.
It didn't move me emotionally. This character I found completely uninteresting. I mean, if you're gonna have something like a kid popping out of a ground, have some kind of mythology to it. Like, make it interesting for me.
Make it a well where he'd been drowned years ago and was coming back to exact revenge.
I know. I mean, making an aborted kid that fucking found the goddamn heavens, looked at him and said, man, that poor fucking kid, he didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I will give him life. That would have been more interesting, because you have more questions than anything walking out of this. I mean, you really do. But then you have to stop and go, why do I give a shit?
Yeah, it's not about the question.
I mean, so I'm reluctantly. I mean, fuck it. I'm going to give it a rental, because
Okay.
I think somebody will get something out of it. I necessarily didn't, even though it's well shot. The acting's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for what they were given, it's okay. It's not the worst movie I've seen, but I mean, if if you're looking to see something like this and you know you want to shed some tears or something, I guess this would be the one. But I'm going to give it a rental, even though I'm being very nice. I'm being very kind to this movie.
You're being super. See, even Timothy Green brought something out of you, co-host.
Did he? What, I want it back. What the fuck? Was that his powers? Take my money? What the fuck? Is that it?
Hey, that's why his last name is Green.
God damn it!
He got that money. You know what, man? I can't fault you for anything you're saying. And for the most part, when it started, I was like, am I going to give this some old bullshit? But the longer it went on, the more I warmed to it. And I said, I like the end. I found the end genuinely touching. And it kind of surprised me that it snuck up on me like that. That said, it's you know what? It's just a smidge better than what you would see on the Hallmark Channel. It has every bit that feel, and I mean you have better actors, and it's shot better, and it's by a director who's done some movies I like. We were just
he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Right. But even like
he wrote it actually.
Some more recent stuff. Pieces of April was something I saw on the list.
Pieces of April. That's when
I really liked that movie a lot.
He co-wrote and he directed.
Directed that. So I know he can do better, or maybe it's just it felt more like the material. Like everybody got this. Maybe they were enthusiastic about it, and they got a script that was just kind of anemic. It just wasn't there. Even the kid who plays Timothy Green, I felt like, wow, I really like this kid, this actor. He's got a lot of charisma, and he's got to carry this film. They're just not giving him a lot to do. They're not giving him enough to really show what he can do.
You're absolutely right.
So, yeah, it ultimately comes down to a rental for me also.
Wow, man. Well,
I mean, it's August, so that's,
Yeah, I mean,
expect that, people.
Rental City, yeah. Just call us the Rentals. We won't stand for mediocre cinema. Tell them, Leon. But, you know what? I know you're getting ready to leave, but before you go, can you actually bury this real quick while you're out there?
What are these?
They're just, just some notes I took.
Some notes you took?
Yeah.
Looks like Jessica Alba. Big titties. Okay, you wrote that down. Big ass. Maybe you should just say round ass. Big ass, you might get something you might have to use your last wish to send it back to the grave.
I'll get her a gym membership, all right?
Lets me borrow money. You got to pay that back.
That's right.
Nympho, that means she'll have sex with all your friends.
That's true.
Can't get pregnant because she's a dude.
Yeah.
Speaks when spoken to. Much like a dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Never gets tired of my shit.
That's important.
Never gets tired of your shit. You sure you don't want to use your wish on peace in the Middle East?
No.
I think there's a better chance of that. And finally, you wanted to say, let's see, thanks, I'm hotter than Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that's also important. I almost forgot here. Take those two.
Oh, these two? Okay.
Yeah.
Great cook. Okay, which means she's going to be huge.
That's right.
And washes dishes.
Goddamn right. Somebody got to wash them.
Because she has no marketable skills.
Yeah. Now, please. There's a patch of grass, not that side where the dogs take a shit, but the other side, the clean side. Yeah,
okay.
You go bury that shit. All right, man. Good hanging out with you. All right. I will have her. See you later. Honey!
There's something you need to see.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Timothy.
54 girl names on the list.
That
one boy was
Timothy.
There's something you need to know about me. I came from the garden.
Where did he come from?
It was all very sudden and kind of miraculous.
So you all came from your mom's tummies?
Yeah.
How was that?
That's not normal.
I decided our son would not be seen as different. He'd be treated like a normal kid.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
Incredible. This isn't gonna work, is it?
No.